think that he's had to play some point guard duties, particularly with Patrick Beverley not being there. And I think those responsibilities may have thrown him off a little bit. I think he needs to be off the ball a little bit more and have more plays called for him so he can just find a way to get going. His shot is not falling. We get all of that. And I understand that things are normal in Doc Rivers' eyes, but they ain't normal compared to what we're seeing from Paul George. He scored 14, 11, and 9 the last 3 games, okay? Doc talked about his floor game. I respectfully disagree. I don't think his floor game has been that impressive. By the way, it also alarms me that both Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, neither was on Luka Doncic the last 3 plays of the game or so. They've been, I'm like, where are they? We don't just rave about them because of their ability to score the ball. That's not why the only reason we consider them stars. We consider them stars because they're two-way players. Paul George has the ability to lock you down. He's legit 6'7". So is Kawhi Leonard, legit 6'8". What the hell is the problem? Where is it defensively that you're giving up 135 points to the Dallas Mavericks without Porzingis on the floor? This is a problem defensively. But offensively, in terms of Paul George, he's missing in action. There's an APB out for him. I can't find him. He even seemed to be shying away from the ball and looking for his shot as the game waned. He didn't look like the confident Paul George that I've become accustomed to seeing, and the pressure is on him. Kawhi Leonard is a 2-time NBA Finals MVP and a 2-time champion. We know what he can do. We know what he has done. We call Paul George a star, and he is, but he has to show up in postseason time. Last 4 postseasons, he's averaged 28 twice, 27 and like 24. He's averaging 15 a game right now on 29% shooting and 22% shooting from three-point range. Kawhi Leonard won a title with Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry. But somehow you have Paul George and you have, the rest of the crew with Morris and those boys and Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams and those boys. And you're tied 2-2 when Kristaps Porzingis has basically been out 2.5 of these 4 games. It's inexcusable. Paul George is a big reason why, and he's got to get it together.
Well, Kawhi also won with Serge Ibaka and Marc Gasol, and they were very deep, and they had a good year because the Warriors were hurt. I mean, obviously, the Warriors at full strength, no one beats them.
The secondary weapon was Siakam.
Here's the issue. This is what happened to Paul George, the playoffs. And I want Paul George to succeed. He's a great player under normal circumstances. He has, at this point, it's fair to say, consistently underperformed when you need him the most. And he's not like, I think the point about Patrick Beverley is a point well taken, Stephen A., because Paul George and Kawhi, for that matter, neither one of them known for their passing, although Kawhi's become a much better passer over time, but still neither one is really a point guard, obviously. So I get that, and you have to pick up some slack for Patrick Beverley's injury, but Paul George consistently has performed, has kind of gone away when they needed him to step up. He even made comments after the game pointing to that idea. So he's taking responsibility for it. Good for him. Who's better, Paul George or Pascal Siakam? Like, Kawhi had a choice to play with either. And as you pointed out, Stephen A., Masai didn't want to give up Pascal Siakam to bring Paul George in to Toronto to keep Kawhi. But you know what? Under most circumstances, Paul George is better. And he's also a fantastic two-way player. But Siakam, we just saw come off of playoffs where he was the Robin that they needed. He was the crime partner. Luka has Porzingis, and Luka overcame it yesterday even without Porzingis. But his crime partner's been balling, right? What's been the problem with the Freak when Middleton hasn't balled at all, right? That's a problem for them. We saw these different players. What's Harden going to do without Westbrook? And Harden stepped up, but we still have those questions. What is the ace going to do without the number 2 guy there? And by the way, how's the number 2 guy going to play when he is there and the ace needs him? Kawhi needs Paul George right now. And Paul George is not stepping up on the offensive side of the ball, period. Siakam did. So who'd you rather have? A guy who's normally better, but when you need him most gets worse? Or a guy who's normally not as good, but he's still pretty damn good, and when you need him most, practically plays like an MVP? I mean, it's looking bad for Paul George right now.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.